Okay, so last night I went to go see Deadpool and Wolverine, and honestly, I had a great time. I could not stop laughing. It was super fun, and I would 100% go again. Obviously, we all are a little aware that Disney Marvel has been putting out some stinkers since Endgame, and they've been struggling to come up with content from their TV shows and their movies. And honestly, to sum up my experience with Deadpool and Wolverine, whenever I came out of the theater, it just felt like a breath of fresh air. It felt like exactly what people have been kind of yearning for years. It felt like a film that kind of stayed true to the comics, which is exactly what people have been wanting. And they also kept a lot of the identity politics out of the movie too, which was super refreshing. And so, I think the blueprint for a movie going forward is going to be very similar to this movie, which, to me, it should be kind of obvious that people going to see a comic book movie want to see comic book material and not have all the political stuff kind of shoved down your throat constantly. But, was this film enough to redeem the Disney Marvel image? I'm not sure. We're going to discuss it. But definitely go see it if you haven't. There will be spoilers in this video, so please click away if you don't want to know what happens. But let's get into the review. Okay, so let's talk about the opening of the film because I could sit here probably for half this video and talk about the opening because I think it was my favorite part of the movie. I absolutely loved it. It was hilarious. So we have Deadpool who is trying to dig up Logan. And in doing so, they build up this suspense that he might actually just dig him up, but then he just ends up with a pile of bones, which was funny in and of itself. And then the TVA, aka the Time Variance Authority, shows up. We've seen them in Loki, learned a little bit about them there. And there is a fight that ensues. And we have this amazing throwback to an NSYNC song, Bye Bye Bye. Deadpool is dancing to it while fighting the TVA. And we're also getting the opening credits. So we're learning who made the film, and we're seeing a lot of the names on the bones that Deadpool is using, and it's really funny. It's very iconic. I loved every second of it. And also in terms of the opening, I'm very very glad that they didn't just bring back Logan by digging him up. I'm glad that they introduced the TVA, and I know a lot of people are kind of tired of the multiverse, but again, I'm just glad that they didn't dig up the Logan that we knew because it would have made the Logan film kind of useless. Okay, and then we move to Wade Wilson's birthday party where the Time Variance Authority shows up, crashes it, and takes Deadpool to meet Paradox, who is a rogue agent working for the Time Variance Authority. And basically, Deadpool learns that he is going to have to find Logan because Logan was the anchor being, which is a whole big thing in this movie, of his universe. And so Deadpool goes on this search to find Logan through different universes or different timelines, I guess you should say. And we get to see some of the iconic Wolverine characters, including the Calverine, which was my absolute favorite of all of them, which is Henry Cavill playing Wolverine. He does his classic loading up of the fists, this thing before he hits Deadpool, and it was awesome. It was really funny. It was really cool. Getting to see some of those iconic characters, those iconic Wolverines, was really really cool. And so the whole opening of the movie I thought was pretty awesome. And then we move into the middle part, which is the main part that they spend most of the time in, which is in the void. In the void, this is kind of where my biggest criticism of the movie comes in. I felt like the plot fell apart just a little bit. It felt like they really pushed references and cameos over the plot itself. And I just found that to be a little off putting, but it was still really fun. We had probably the best fight scene of the movie where we have Deadpool and Wolverine fighting in a Honda Odyssey. Honda Odyssey is a running joke throughout the film. It's absolutely hilarious. I never thought going in that I'd be talking about a Honda Odyssey at the end of this film. But that fight scene was amazing. And we got to see a lot of other great characters. We got to see Channing Tatum as Gambit, who was just, I thought, the funniest character in the movie. And the coolest, coldest, greatest aura moment in the movie to me absolutely was Wesley Snipes entering as Blade. I thought that was so cool. It was just a moment where you could feel the theater around you just kind of jaw drop, just super excited to see Wesley Snipes as Blade. Awesome, awesome moment in the film. And I also wanted to point out the fact that Emma Corrin, who played Cassandra Nova, who is Charles Xavier's twin sister, she's kind of the main antagonist of the movie. I thought she did a great job. I thought her character was very well done. There was depth to the character, very powerful, very strong, and they were able to showcase her powers in a way that I thought was almost kind of a step up in CGI, something that I hadn't really seen before, and I was very, very impressed by how they were able to do that. And towards the end of the film, I felt like Hugh Jackman actually had some of his best acting as Wolverine. A lot of the fight scenes were very, very comic book accurate, exactly how I feel like Wolverine would be fighting. Very, very cool there. We get to see all of the multitude of Deadpools, which are absolutely hilarious. We get to see Dogpool, who was just such an adorable character, even though the dog itself is very, very ugly. Very, very adorable character. I thought that was a really funny running joke throughout the movie as well. And again, the comic book authenticity of this movie, I feel like, is really what made it stand out, other than the humor. And I had fun throughout. I would give the film an 8.5 because I felt like it was very solid. I wouldn't go as high as like a 9 or close to a 10 just because I feel like that's very, very peak cinema, something that I, come away from just kind of thinking, wow, that was one of the best films I've ever seen. And I didn't feel like it was in that level of a category, but I did feel like it was super fun, a breath of fresh air, like I said in the beginning. And I would love to know what you guys think. So please let me know in the comments kind of what you guys thought of the movie, if you thought it was good, bad, how you'd rate it. This is one of my first ratings for a movie, so go easy on me. Hopefully, you'll get better from here. But I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.